Alright, I am back cooking up another book review, and today we got Dracula by Bram Stoker. Ooh, spooky, spooky. I don't know if this is the original vampire, but I heard there's a book before it called The Vampire or something that from a completely different author. I don't think it's where the concept originated from, but it's definitely the most popular vampire book. It was good. It was a good read. It was exciting for sure. I personally I don't get the appeal of horror books. Like, it's not very scary. I'm not going "Whoa," when I like turn the page. Like, I don't know, man. It's a good book. The storytelling is done well. I like the characters. A lot of good things going for this book, but I don't know. Just horror books in general. Not the biggest fan. So why would you want to read this book? So, if you're looking for a good story, good way to pass the time, it gives you a couple things to think about. Kind of new concepts with every kind of fantasy book. You get new things to think about, like the idea that your own lover gets turned into this monster that will kill other people, but it's not them. It's not okay. I'll talk about this more later. But there's some cool. It's a cool like monster. It's a cool monster for sure. I don't know. Not the greatest book. There's nothing like super enriching. There's no like super deep themes he goes into here. But it's an enjoyable read. I can't complain. Can't hate this book really. Pretty solid. Yeah. So some of the things I really liked. I think the writing style is quite unique. This whole book is in the format of like letters or newspaper clippings or journals. And it makes for definitely interesting read. You get to see all the different perspectives of the characters. You get to see how things are recorded. Like Dr. Seward's got his phonograph diary and all this stuff. Some of it's definitely unrealistic. I'm like, no way you would write all this in this much detail. No way, like you're writing and then someone knocks at your door. You're like, oh, I've got to go. I will return soon. Nobody would do that. But it's still cool. I like it. They got some interesting foreshadowing that he does with it. As well. So yeah, I think it's quite cool. The characters I also really like. The characters are very likable. Mina is awesome. Lucy is like, oh man, no, don't die, Lucy. She's like wooing the old men somehow. Everyone just loves her. You know, Lucy's great. Mina's great. Van Helsing's great. Everyone's great, honestly. All the good people are like great, and I love them. I like that. They're very kind. The scene when Dr. Helsing and all of them are in the room and he's like, oh, I will protect you. You guys are my greatest friends. I hope we can be together for the rest of our lives. It's so sweet. It's so nice that they just barely know each other and he's like devoting his entire existence to these people. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I like that part a lot. Very likable characters for sure. One of the things that's maybe not so good is I think there's a lot of big words and a lot of like long paragraphs of dialogue that you could kind of get quite bored by if you're not particularly proficient in English maybe, or if you're just like looking for a more easy read. It's definitely some of the stuff I felt like was lost on me. Some like references and whatever, like long tangents he's going on. Okay, here, like I'll flip to a random page and we'll see what kind of words we get. Okay, here we go. Triumphantly, systematically, John. Okay, like here, I'll flip to a random page. We'll see what kind of words we get here. We got indicative, cerebration, that's not right. Disconcert. We got faculties, striking, zoophagy. That's a good one. I learned. I know what zoophagy means. You know, that's a cool. Superiority, Enoch, terrestrial, analogy. No, that's not a word. Anyway, you get the point. There's a lot of big words in this book. There's a lot of long paragraphs of dialogue that you could get kind of bored by. So definitely not a very easy read, I would say. So don't go into this expecting that. You're gonna get kind of lost. It's not gonna be as good. Oh, one thing I was thinking about that's crazy. For ants, vampires are real. Like there's this fungus that will infect an ant and like eat its brain and then start to control it. So if you're an ant, you might just like like say hi to your homeboy and he just starts trying to eat you. You're like, what the fuck? No. Like that would be crazy, right? Vampires are real for ants. Just think about that for a second. This world is nuts, man. It's like Van Helsing said, you gotta be humble. You can't think that you know everything because this world is, there's so many crazy things going on. It's so magical, life and all the stuff's going on. Just nature and life is incredible, and I don't know, you can't try not to doubt stuff because you don't know. You're just a person. You don't know half of it. But about vampires, like the whole concept is pretty terrifying. Just to have your lover, used to watch them get taken over, their mind get consumed, and become this evil thing, but it's not them. So you have to be able to still like end their life because you know it's not them, but it's their eyes looking back at you. And the way that they're all like kind of temptresses, they're like, oh, come, give me a kiss, please. Like, I would fold, man. I would fold. But, oh, man, it'd be so awful. And especially if you're the one that's being transformed, like Mina, to have to watch yourself fall into this knowing that you're going to become the enemy to your own lover. You're going to try to kill your own lover. There's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, very good concept for a monster. I like it. Also, I didn't know, like, before reading this book, I knew a little bit about vampires. I knew, like, he can turn into a bat. He sucks blood. Oh, no, stop sucking blood. And, he, like, can't come out in the daytime. But I didn't know he could turn into a dog. He can, like, summon rats. He can, like, teleport, basically. He can make people fall asleep. He can get into the minds of lunatics and make them invite them into the house. Like, this dude is crazy. He's got super strength, too. Like, it's nuts, man. This guy's a beast, man. Dude, don't fuck with Dracula. Okay, now I'll go with some quotes that I found here that I really liked. Okay, listen carefully, because a lot of these, like, this whole book is very wordy, so you gotta really pay attention to when you're reading. I've gotten tripped up a few times. It is the fault of our science that it wants to explain all, and if it explain not, then it says that there is nothing to explain. But yet we see around us every day the growth of new beliefs, which think themselves new, and which are yet but the old, which pretend to be young, like the fine ladies at the opera. So this is what I was saying about, like, being humble and not thinking that you know everything. Because, for example, the humans way back in, like, the 1500s, they thought that the Earth was the center of the universe. Everything revolves around the Earth. And this was just a known fact. Like, you were crazy if you thought different than this. But now, we know, obviously, the Earth does not... things don't revolve around the Earth. The Earth revolves around the sun. We're not the center of the universe. So it just goes to show that science is constantly changing what we know. So you can't just assume that you know everything. You have to always be humble, because we're just tiny little specks on this floating rock in the middle of space. And it's very arrogant to assume that we know everything. I don't know about the fine ladies at the opera. I'm sure they're very fine. I don't know what that part was. But, yeah, just be humble about everything. I don't know, maybe vampires could exist. I've never seen one. But, maybe Bigfoot's real, too. I mean, Bigfoot's just a big monkey, so... Bigfoot's probably real. He's just a gorilla that, like, moved to Canada. Just, like, said, fuck the other gorillas in South America or whatever. I'm going to Canada, live my own life in the forest. Bigfoot's probably a chill guy, you know? Okay, I'm back here. I got hungry, so I went and made some lunch. I got some Filipino chicken, coconut chicken adobo. It's pretty good. But one interesting question here that I found. This is in the section where they're about to kill Lucy. And Dr. Seward asked this question. He says, is it possible that love is all subjective or all objective? And I think what he means by this is it possible that to love, you have to love someone in every single scenario possible, even if they're a blood-sucking vampire who wants to kill people, or if it's all subjective, like it's all based on scenario, like you love them sometimes, you love them not completely sometimes. And I think that the answer would be no, because I would say there has to be some objective components of love, and there has to be some subjective components. Or it might be mostly objective, actually. Because I think if you love someone, you have to love them. You choose to love them, to help them, and admire them in every possible scenario. Like the vows, in sickness and in health. You gotta love them all the time. And where you might not like them in some scenarios, you may not like them when they're like pissed off and they're getting mad at you, but you still gotta love them. You still gotta be there for them and help them and not hold grudges. So I think love is mostly subjective. Oh, is it all objective? No. Can you love someone that is a blood-sucking... That's not your lover, though. It's not the same person. That's the thing. It's not them, man. It's not them. That's why I think love is objective. If you choose to love someone, you have to love them in every scenario. Fuck. No, okay. Maybe that's wrong. I think there's a certain amount of subjectivity that you can have in love. Because if you choose to love someone, you might not know every single part of them, and there might be a part of them comes out that you don't quite love. But you've accepted to love this person as a whole. Fuck. This is a hard question, man. I don't know the answer to this question. If you guys know the answer to this question, if you guys have an answer to the question, if there's anyone even watching this, leave it down below. Future self, reflect on this. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about how the whole concept of a vampire and how effective it would be on humans. Loss is so difficult. It makes sense. It would spread very fast, I feel like, because people wouldn't realize their loved ones are affected by this, or they would just live in denial that this is happening to them, and they would get infected too. Like, yeah, if I had a wife and she turned into a vampire, I would just be like, she's just on her period, you know, it's no big deal. She's all right. She'll be fine. She's losing a lot of blood, you know, she needs to top up. It's all right. I'll give her some of mine. No, but for real, like, that would be the, excuse me, that would be the ultimate torture, to watch your loved one descend and become this creature that preys on others, and to be able to bring yourself to end that life, that of course you know it's not them, but when they're gone, you're left with a void, and your mind searches for something to replace them with, and it sees them there. Of course it's gonna want to believe that it's still them, but it's not. And it would spread a lot because of people that just want to keep holding on to the fact that their loved one is still there, is still with them, but they're not. And man, God. Okay, I found another passage that I thought was awesome in there. Here we go. This is from Mina. She says, some of the new women New women writers will someday start an idea that men and women should be allowed to see each other asleep before proposing or accepting. But I suppose the new woman won't condescend in future to accept. She will do the proposing herself. And a nice job she will make of it too. Hell yeah, Mina. This is I don't know when this book was written. I think it was a while ago. But that's quite progressive for its time, I suppose. I definitely believe that men and women should see each other sleeping should see each other in every scenario, should live together for quite a while, should go over every possible scenario, everything you should know about this person before you get married. That's a big choice. You have to know almost every part of the person before you do that, because otherwise there could be a part that you don't see that comes up, and then it's messed up and you got a divorce, you know? But yeah, I agree with Mina, and yeah, let women propose. Why not? Go for it. I think women would do a great job of proposing. I would be flattered if my woman wanted to propose with me. I would. Ooh, I would get giddy. No, but yeah, hell yeah, Mina. Okay, here's another quote I found interesting. The real God taketh heed lest a sparrow fall, but the God created from human vanity sees no difference between an eagle and a sparrow. Oh, if men only knew. See, I don't fully grasp this quote, I feel like. And if you're listening to this, please comment and let me know what you think. I think something about that God doesn't see every small difference between what makes a good man a bad man, and doesn't adjust what he does and manipulate things according to this. He doesn't see every aspect. If there was a real God, he wouldn't see every aspect of these people, right? He would just see them as people. I don't know. I don't get the part sees no difference between an eagle and a sparrow. That God treats everyone equally. I've got to think about this more. Future self, think about this more. Here's another quote that I thought was very cool. The bridemaidens, oh, by the way, this is from the Maniac, Dr. Renfield. The bridemaidens rejoice the eyes that wait the coming of the bride. But when the bride draweth nigh, then the maidens shine not to the eyes that are filled. Very cool. So what this means, the bride and maidens are joyfully awaiting the bride to come by, but when the bride comes by, she's not looking at them. She is looking straight at the groom with love in her eyes. So the bridesmaids matter not. They're just kind of side pieces. And it's kind of foreshadowing to his relationship with Dracula. Like, he has this kind of thing. Oh, I want to serve you so much, my master. Please allow me to be your faithful servant. But Dracula doesn't want to, like, recruit him or make him into this. He doesn't want anything with this guy. He's just using him to get to Mina. So, that must be what he's talking about. I think that's really cool. I actually just realized that. That's a really good quote. I like that. Another lovely quote here. This is from Mina to Lucy. My dear, please, Almighty God, your life may be all it promises. A long day of sunshine with no harsh wind, no forgetting duty, no distrust. I must not wish you no pain, for that can never be. But I do hope that you will always be as happy as I am now. Man, that is pure love right there. I love that. Another very interesting thing that I was thinking about is the decision of Mina and Jonathan to not ever look in his journals when he woke up from the coma with memory loss, not knowing what happened in Transylvania. And I think it's true that ignorance is bliss. That we're only here for a short time. Why you can't know everything anyway. Why bother wanting to relive these awful, awful experiences when they could just and know that this terrible thing has happened to you, when you could just continue your life with your lovely wife and be happy and do the things you love? Why would you want to relive this awful experience in this I mean, of course, at the time you don't know this, but you know something awful and traumatic has happened to you in the past, but you can't remember it. So why would you want to remember it? Remembering it would only bring those to resurface and then cause even more problems, I feel like. So unless it's actually plaguing you, I think ignorance would be the best choice in that scenario. Of course, it didn't work out for them because they had to deal with the vampire directly. They had to kill that hoe. But the best thing for them would have been just moving to the countryside and living a nice life, just the two of them. And they would have been happy, they would have been great. So I think a lot of the times, yes, ignorance is bliss. Well, that's about it. That's all I have. But yeah, Dracula by Bram Stoker. Go read it. It's good. Well, maybe go read it if you want a good book to pass the time. Some interesting concepts, some great characters, and cool storytelling. I'll leave you guys with a song recommendation. Taxman by the Beatles. This song has been stuck in my head the whole day. It's so catchy. It's awesome. Go listen to it. Future self, go listen to that again. Yeah, alright, that's it.